give you my brief introduction. I'm Sudhanshu Singh. I'm the co-founder of Cuvette. I'm also a mentor at Cuvette, right? So I take a lot of mock interviews as well as some of the batches, classes, all those things. So I have pretty good experience mentoring students, as well as I did hiring for companies like Samsung as well as Inference AI when I was there. So I graduated in 2019 from IIT Kharagpur. Post that, I worked in a couple of companies. One is Samsung Research and Development, another is Inference AI. It's a US-based startup. We set it up their India headquarters. So I did hiring for both these companies. So I have pretty much experience about how to do the hiring of a company, as well as when I did the mentorship to a lot of students. So I know, from the point of view of a student, what all problems someone can face. So I'll try to cover up both this perspective when I go about in my presentation. I'll try to answer your questions from both these points of view. So this is some common questions that all of you guys might be having, right? Okay, my screen is visible, I hope, right? Okay, perfect. So my screen is visible. So these are some common questions that a lot of you might be having. There could be some different questions also. So what I'll try to do is in the coming slides, I'll try to answer these questions, right? And if someone has any further question apart from it, so what I'll do is I'll cover them in the from the Q&A section. So if you come up with any question, let's say at any point of time, you put it in the Q&A, and when I'll stop for taking out the question and answers, I'll process one by one. So these are some common questions like how do we guarantee which all companies hire, what will happen if we don't get placement and all. So I'll answer them one by one. Okay, good to go. So first of all, I'll give you what is Cuvette. So Cuvette is a full stack career platform, right, where we help freshers get jobs and internships. We have more than, I think, currently 12 lakh plus students on our platform, more than 7,000 companies who are using our platform actively. They use it for jobs and internship, both kinds of things. And our team is pretty much connected with most of the companies over either email or on WhatsApp. Their hiring manager is connected with us. So this is one very huge advantage that we have and a lot of people do not have, right? That we are connected with so many companies. So moving on, who are all these 7,200 companies? So this is a glimpse of some of the companies that have hired from us in the past and who are currently hiring, some of them, right? There are more companies than these logos, right? Which is very difficult to fit in. So these are some companies that some names you can remember. Post that, once we know who all will be hiring and there is enough number of companies who do the hiring, right? I'll move on to explain what is our course program flow like, right? How does your journey will look like once you join our placement guarantee program in full stack web development. So basically, when you join and you start this program, it's a 4 to 6 months journey, right? Depending on how much your batch takes time, right? Sometimes people need some time to revise concepts, and some extra time to build projects. So the journey could be a 4 to 6 months for Monstack. Basically, it is divided into 4 major segments. First is module 1, where we'll cover HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Second module is on front end, like React, NPM, Git, and all those things. Third module will be mostly on backend, which is like Node.js, Express.js, MongoDB. All those concepts will be covered, APIs and all. Right. In these 3 modules, basically the teaching pattern that we follow is from the industry, where it's a combination of theory as well as projects. Right. Our mentors will teach you theory as well as they'll give you projects to work on. Right. So every week, probably you will have theory classes. Probably in the next week, you will have projects to build. Then comes theory and then comes project, right? So it'll be a combination of theory and project. If you just learn theory, right, and you are not building projects, it's a very big problem. So the aim of our whole program is to make you a good software developer, right? And not just about cramming the concepts, not just remembering what all concepts we taught. The purpose is that you code it yourself, right? So that you grow as a developer. That's the aim, right? So these 3 modules are kind of a summary of the whole Monstack, right? Which is a combination of theory and project. There are multiple projects that we'll be doing in this first three modules. And this first three modules roughly take 4 to 5 months, right? Post this first three modules, which is Monstack, what we do is we give some time to revise to the students, right? Where you can revise the concepts, ask doubts in revision. If you have some pending projects, you can build it. You can do some extra revision projects, all those things. We give some time, and then the DSA classes will start, right? After probably 2 weeks time, the DSA classes will start. Now this DSA, data structures and algorithm, these classes is there just for the Pro Plus people who are into this job guarantee program. In our program, we have, as you might have seen on the course page, there are three category of offerings that we have. One is basic plan, which is placement preparation, where we give certificates after completion. Second one is pro plan, which is guaranteed internship, right? And third one is job guarantee, which is pro plus. And the division is pretty much equal, right? In all of these segments, equal number of students enroll. So if we have, let's say, a batch size of uh, 10 people, 3 will be in pro plus, 3 will be in pro, 3 will be in basic, right? Something like that. And the DSA section, data structures and algorithm, this is only for the pro plus students. So because their fees is also high, and it could be like when you go for jobs eventually in your career, you will need data structures and algorithm. Right? So we teach 2 months of data structures and algorithm, which is again more focused on doing practice questions, right, and understanding their concepts, how you can solve a particular question, right? So we'll cover a lot of different set of questions, and we practice it in our live classes. We'll give some homework for you to practice at home. That's how data structure and algorithms will be taught. So first three modules plus 2 months of DSA. This is how you complete the whole program, right? Once the first three modules are completed, right, there will be, okay, so I'm coming to this slide first. Once the first three sections, which is module 1, module 2, and module 3 is done, right, post the revision phase of 15 days, there will be a final evaluation test. The final evaluation test is basically a combination of project plus an interview round, right? And the purpose of final evaluation is to make sure that whoever student who is doing our course, they have understood all the concepts. They're able to build projects and they have understood the concepts, right? So we'll give you a problem statement that you have to build a project, right? Post you have cleared the project, we'll take your interview rounds based on whatever we have taught in the course in Monstack, right? So we'll ask questions related to all the concepts that we have taught, right? And we'll make sure that you have understood those concepts. Because if someone who is doing all these courses, all this hard work, right, of learning, right, and building projects, so we should be able to figure out who are all those people who have put in their effort, right? And it is mandatory to clear this final evaluation if you want to become eligible for the placements, right? You will only move to the placement section once you have cleared the final evaluation test. If you have not cleared the final evaluation test, we'll give you some extra time to revise and then you can reattempt it. So there are multiple attempts to the final evaluation. There are exactly 3 attempts that we'll give you, right? And after each attempt, we'll give you some time to revise and then you can attempt it, right? So if you are working properly, right, if you are giving your effort to learning, right, clearing this final evaluation is not at all a tough task. It will be tough for those who are not at all putting their effort in learning, right, or who are not building projects. So what I have seen in the past also is that someone who is devoting regular time, let's say 2-3 hours every day for learning or building projects, they are able to clear final evaluation. For those who are not giving that dedicated amount of time of 2-3 hours every day, those are usually the students who are not able to clear the final evaluation. But I think this is very important for you to understand, is that if you are able to build this final evaluation project, right, and you are able to clear it, and then you think that getting a job is tough, it's not that tough. If you are able to do that, you can get a job from anywhere in the world, right? Whether Cuvette is there or not there, right? And that's my guarantee, because that's how we have built this built this whole program. The aim of this program is to make you a good software developer, right? There is no jack that once we took the fees from you, we'll get you placed from some backdoor entry or something into any company. That's not the approach. And I think it's pretty much safe, right? And I take a similar example in almost all the sessions, right? This is Our course program is more like a gym subscription. You bought a subscription, right? And then you have to put in your hard work. It's not like you put the gym fees, you paid the gym fees of 5,000 rupees and you say, okay, after 1 month, why am I not fit right now? Right? You need to do that running, you need to do that weights and all, everything you have to do. And then only you will get the results. So it's same for our course. If you've paid the fees, but you're not putting effort, you will not get the results. Right? And this is fact. Right? But if you have paid the fees and you're putting your efforts, then getting placements is something that we take care of. There's so many companies to place you, and I mean the number of companies that we have is very high, right? And if you are clearing it, you should not be bothered about placements. So final evaluation is one thing. Once the final evaluation, you pass the final evaluation in any of the 3 attempts, you will move to the placement process, where we'll put you in a different placement group, where there is a mentor who will help you prepare your resume, your LinkedIn profile, your GitHub profile, right? Whatever is required by a company, they'll help you prepare it. Once that is done, we'll take a lot of mock interviews for your preparation, right? So these interview preparation rounds will be there. We'll give you questions, we'll take mock rounds on HR and technical rounds. Once these two things are done, we'll start connecting you with companies, right? We'll start sharing your profile with our partner companies, and they'll start sharing with you coding assignments and interview rounds. So our team will be doing all the hand holding during that placement process. They'll set up the meeting, they'll get you an offer, and they'll be there until you join their company. So everything in the placement process will be taken care by our team, and you do not have to go anywhere on any other platform to apply. You do not have to do that, and that's a very unique thing that we have, right? If you ask anyone else, what they would do is they'll tell you, okay, go to XYZ platform, apply on that, keep applying on 100, 200 companies, right? And probably after that also, it's very difficult to get results. Right? So that's something that we have a very huge advantage, is that we make this process of hiring so smoothless for you, right? That you will feel like, okay, placements are so easy. But when you ask someone who is trying to apply on LinkedIn, Naukri, all these platforms for jobs, if you ask any other student, like how much struggle they are putting in, they will tell you it's very hard. They're applying for 200 companies, writing their coding assignments, but not even getting one single interview rounds. That's a difficulty level. So that is where Cuvette comes into the picture, because we are connected with so many hiring managers, and we make sure that if you are working on some assignment or some interview rounds, we make sure to get some feedbacks from them. What went wrong, right? Whether you are getting an offer or not. So that's something that we are specialized in. So that's how the placement process looks like. So I skipped this slide. This is some important pointers about our course program, right? Like it's a 6 months program, like around 5 months for Monstack, and then final evaluation. So it's roughly 6 months. Multiple projects will be there, as I've already explained in that module slides, right? With theory, we'll be building a lot of projects. There will be diode classes every day. There will be live classes on alternate days. Post completion of course, you'll get a certificates, right? And you'll get 24/7 chat support for your doubts if you have any doubts. So this is pretty much all the things, right, about the course program. Now what I will do is, there are some common questions, right? And I'll see if some of them are not answered, and I'll try to answer them one by one. If not, I'll pick it up from the Q&A section that a lot of you guys have put up. So those who have joined now, if you have any question, what you guys can do is, at the bottom of your Google Meet, you have this activities section. Click on that, and then there is a Q&A. Go to that Q&A and put up your question. I will cover it one by one. All good? Okay. So first question is that how do we guarantee placements for all enrolled students? So there are 2, 3 things. First is that we have so many partner companies, and very few students in each batch. We do not take more than 60, 70 people in our Pro Plus plan, right? Because that is what we know is our limit, right? If we know we can place 60, 70 students very easily, we take only those, right? So there will be, as I mentioned, basic plan and Pro plan, and then Pro Plus. All people are like equal. So there will be probably 50 people from Pro Plus, 50 from basic, 50 from Pro plan. So roughly all the things are same, but the job guarantee is there only for Pro Plus people, which is very limited. If you have any question, you can put it in the Q&A section. At the bottom of your Google Meet, you'll get a triangle section, activities. Click on that, click to Q&A, and post your question there. Right, I'll cover one by one. Okay, so guaranteeing placements for us is not at all a challenge, right? There are a lot of companies, and if you are a good developer, it's not at all an issue for us. We are able to place so many companies, so many students every month. Probably 30, 40 students are getting placed each month. If you are following the Cuvette YouTube channel, you will see testimonials coming up every day. Right? Every day there is one person who is coming on our Google Meet and sharing his experience. So it's not at all difficult to get placed, right? The only thing that we require is that you also put your effort to learning. Right? If someone is expecting he have paid the fees, right, and now I'm relaxed that I'll get placed from Cuvette, uh, this is not going to happen. Right? It's not like you paid the fees and you get a job. Right? As I mentioned, like gym subscription, you paid the fees and then you need to work hard. Right? You do not have to worry about placements. You have to worry about your learning. If you are learning properly, you're clearing the final evaluation. Once you are in the placement process, it's our onus to get you placed, and we'll do it because we are able to do it every month, right? So that's something that nobody has to worry about. Now the second question, which all companies have from Cuvette? As I've already shown, more than 7,000 companies, right, are hiring. So most of the companies will be doing it. What will happen if I don't get a placement? Now, this is a very interesting question, right? So if let's say you enrolled in our program, right, and you are doing all the hard work that is required, right, and you are able to clear the final evaluation, then there is placement process for you, and you'll get eventually placed, right? But let's say you're not able to get you clear the final evaluation. So as I was saying, you will be getting 3 attempts to clear the final evaluation, and there will be enough time for revision. Even if you are not able to clear in these 3 evaluation tests, right, then there is seriously something wrong with the learning process that you're following. And it has never happened in the past. Someone who is putting up their effort of 2-3 hours every day to learning, right, you've seen almost all the people have cleared the final evaluation process. Because final evaluation project, it's the same process as it will be there in each module. In each module, you'll be working on projects on the same manner, just like final evaluation project. We'll give you a problem statement, right? And there will be a project that you have to build, right? And our mentors will be there to help you out during those module projects. So if you are learning properly, right, there is no chance that you don't get placed, right? And if you are in the placement process and then you are not getting placed, we'll refund the complete fees, right? If you're not able to place you once you are into that placement process. But till now, I can say this full surety, there is zero refund that we've done in the past because we are able to place all the students who move to that placement process. Because we have so many partner companies, it's almost impossible for us to leave any student behind. So that's something that we make sure. Fourth question, good question. There were a couple of people from non-IT background. Can a person from non-IT background do this course? Yes, definitely. There were a couple of people from mechanical civil branches in the past who were 2017, 2018 grads, and we were able to place them comfortably. Right. The only concern, as I mentioned, you should put your time to learning. Right. If you're putting your time to learning, placing you is not a difficult task for us, and you can learn properly. Right. A lot of people are learning properly who are from the non-IT background. There will be doubt solving classes. The only thing for non-IT background students is that you need to put probably some more effort. If someone who has a background, he's putting 2 hours, 3 hours, you need to put probably 3 hours and 4 hours. Add 1 more hour to it. That's the only thing. Nothing is different. Fifth question, how will you prepare us for the placement process? Okay, so I think this has already been covered in one of the slides. Right, placement process is very, very smooth. Starts with resume building, all the profile building, and then connecting with companies. So it's pretty much same. Sixth question, how are classes delivered and my doubt solved? I've also covered this, but I'll answer it again. The live classes will happen on alternate days, right? Those will be mentor-led classes. On the remaining alternate days of a week, you will be either working on projects, you'll be either revising concepts, you'll be asking doubts in your doubt class. So there will be doubt class on alternate days. On the days where there will be no live classes, you can ask your doubts. You can attend any project classes. You can, doing the quizzes and all. So there will be a lot of different things that we'll be doing when there are no classes. And doubt resolution is really awesome. You can ask it on the chat to the mentor, as well as you can join a Google Meet and ask your doubts. Right. So that's really a great thing about our course, that you can get your doubts resolved at any point of time. So I've answered these 6 questions. Now I'll take a couple of more questions from this, all the people that have asked this question. Okay. So Shivraj is a good question. What is the average salary? So average salary, as I remember correctly, I do not have the exact data for the last month, but overall it's more than 7 LPA, or if not roughly, then it will be around 7 LPA is the average, as far as I remember. So this roughly answers your question. Okay, Shivraj has asked another question. It's the same. Okay. Okay, Rutik has a good question. Will it be possible to manage the course along with full-time job? So, Ritik, as I was, giving my point of view of how much time you need. If you have a background in computer science or programming, you need to devote 2-3 hours. Right. If you have a full-time job and you can give the 2-3 hours in the night also, it'll be completely possible to manage the classes. Right. It won't be difficult. There are a lot of working professionals who are doing our course and who have been placed in the past. Right. So it's really up to you how you manage your time, but you need to give that dedicated 2-3 hours every day, but you can do it easily. uh, okay, Sumit has a good question. I have recently got some feedback of Cuvette which was negative. Okay, pretty good. I have also seen a couple of people writing this negative feedback, right? But when I talk to those students, right, what went wrong, or something like that, right, is that a lot of people, if you talk to, when I talk to, I ask them very simple questions, right? I had proper discussion with my team as well with them. I think couple of people I've seen. So I asked them, how many classes did you attend, right? Leave classes, how many projects did you build, right? And what is it that that you're not able to do? So one common answer that you'll get from some of the people is that they have not built all the projects that were there in the course, right? They have not even attended the classes. They have not watched the classes properly, right? So as I was explaining probably previously, this is more like a gym subscription, right? Are you putting your end of effort? Because apart from this, some people who are writing negative, there are a lot of people who are saying positive, right? So it's completely up to you whom you take inspiration from, right? If you have to sit for a UPSC exam, right, there will be, from the 10 lakh people, probably very few will clear. But if you have to sit for the UPSC, you will get the opinion from people who have cleared it, right? Those who have not cleared it, they'll give thousands of reasons, right? Like UPSC syllabus is very difficult, right? Not everybody can do it. It takes a lot of time, but there are people who have done it. And if you also want to do it, you should probably get the opinion from people who have cleared it, right? And that's how you should decide. So that's my simple point of view, is that if you are someone who are looking to get into job, right, especially this tech job, software development, full stack and all, right, you should talk to people who have cleared it, right, and get their perspective, because those are the people who have done it in the past, right, and they can give you a better feedback of how you can also do it. If you're looking for people who have not joined it, there are so many negative things. You open Twitter and you'll find thousands of negative things about almost anything, right? So take the feedback from people who have actually cracked it, and they will give you proper guidance. So that is something that I have also told to other peoples, and probably Sumit, if you have this question, talk to people who have cleared it, because you also want to clear it, right? You do not want to fail, so you want to you should talk to them. That's how you will get your answers. Uh, okay, I'll take up some questions. Okay, guarantee. Okay, I have took this question. How much guarantee do I have from Cuvette placement course? Harsh, I didn't get this question. What is this question? How much guarantee do I have from Cuvette for placement after the course? Can you reframe it again? Because I think what I'm able to understand is ki whether it's 100% or not, something like that, right? So can you just reframe it and put it again so that I can answer it properly? Okay. Someone has asked, I'm currently earning 4 LPA. Can I expect at least 50% hike from the current CTC through the placement guarantee program? You can definitely get it. People have got it in the past and you can too, right? It's not that difficult, right? So if you're learning properly, building projects, right? So if we connect you with any sort of companies, they'll look at your previous offer and they'll give you hike, right? So it all how you perform in the course, and when we connect you with companies, it's not difficult at all, right? So that's a very simple answer, right? It's not that difficult. Um, okay, Harsh, can you put up that question again? Right. Okay, I am taking this question from someone. What is the proof that you're 7,000 plus companies? You can go to the Cuvette platform. You can talk to those companies whether you are onboarded with Cuvette or not. Right. That's how you can find 7,000 companies. Right. Because writing 7,000, 5,000, and putting up logos of any company is something nobody can do. Right. If you look at from the legal point of view, it's not the right thing to do. So if we are writing 7,000 plus companies and we're putting the logos, right, that is something that we cannot do without they're actually onboarded in our platform. So that's something that we take very seriously, and it cannot be just written randomly. What kind of placement can you expect upon completion of this course? So in terms of placement, there are three kinds of role. One is full stack, front end and back end developer. These are some roles that has opened up for our students, right? And you can expect a salary of anything starting from 3 lakh to 15 lakh, right? Anything can happen. But we'll try to connect you with companies where your profile is the right match, right? We'll connect you with companies so that you get the results faster, right? So that is what our aim is. If you've completed your course, you move to the placement process, we'll connect you with companies where we'll get the job offer very, very quickly, right? And you're satisfied with it. That's what we aim for. So if you are a fresher, you can expect any salary from 3 lakh to 10, 15 lakhs, right? But if you have some sort of experience, right, probably 6 months, 1 year, you can expect even higher. So that's something that you should think about. I think Rutik have already covered your question. Mayank has asked this question: what are the placement stats for the latest batch? So the last batch, first of all, the placements that we follow it on a monthly basis, right? So what will happen? Each batch gets 3 attempts, right? So in a particular month, it could be like multiple batches are having their final evaluation, and the placement process will be for the combined batch. So each month, roughly around 60 to 70 people are onboarded for the placement process, right? Those who are in the Pro Plus, almost around 90 to 95% people are able to move into that placement process, right? And once they are into that placement process, roughly every month we are able to place around 30 to 40. So in a batch of 60 to 70 people who are in the Pro Plus, in the first month alone, around 30 to 40 people get placed. For the remaining people, it will take 1 or 1.5 more months. So in roughly 3 months phase, all the people are getting placed. So as I have given you this very clear stats, till now we were not being able to, we have not yet refunded anyone, right? That means we were able to place all the students, and that's a very good benchmark if you ask anyone. Is that this is like uh, placing everyone in 3 months, but like 60-70% people are getting placed in the first month. Probably in the next month, in the second month, around 30% odd people get placed, and the remaining 10-15% people are getting placed in the third month, right? And this is after you move to the placement process, once the placement process starts, right? So I hope this has answered your question, Mayank. If not, you can put it again. uh, okay. Anyone else has any question? I think so. Shivraj has any question again? What are the benefits of job-oriented courses? I think it's a very good question. So first thing about job-oriented courses, it's a very so you can put your question. Someone is raising hand. You can put up your question. I'm picking it one by one, right? I have one of your question. I'll put it after this, right? So the benefit of a job-oriented course that I have seen in the past is that it gives you a structured approach, right, of how much is required to get a job. You can get the content on YouTube, Udemy, right? A lot of free platforms and low-cost platforms are there. But the major problem with all these platforms is that you do not know how much is enough. You start your learning and you get lost in that vast ocean. You keep on learning and after probably 1 or 2 months, you lose the focus and you leave it. Right? There is no one to help you out. There is no progress that you'll be having, right? And each day probably you'll be learning new things, right? Even after 9 months, you may not know if it is sufficient for a job, right, or not. So that's the major benefit that I see. It gives you a clear timeline of when the course will complete. What is that ideal syllabus that I should follow? If I get stuck somewhere, I'll get the help, right, through mentor support, right, and I'll have mentors to talk to. Once the course is complete, I will also get a placement kind of guarantee. That is like a huge benefit that you have. So I think this has answered your question. So I think you have answered this question. What is the starting salary for MCA? As I told you, the salary ranges from 3 LPA to 10 to 15 LPA, right, for freshers, right? And it's for same for MCA also, right? Same for MCA, same for BE, because the important part is your skills. Through this program, it's more about skills rather than about any degree sort of things. That is what our focus is. We want you to get upskilled so that we can place you in a company and you start receiving that 40,000-50,000 per month salary, right? So by putting this 28, 30,000, 32,000 as a fees in the very first month alone, you'll be able to recover all the fees. You'll be getting like 50,000, 40,000 kind of salary. So you can clearly see that the fees for the course program is almost half of your first month salary. So that's what the worth is about. And I think it's really good that we've come up with this program. We've come up with around probably 1.5 years ago. And till now, what we've received as a feedback from our students is really amazing, right? What they are, once we collect the feedback, we get to know that a lot of people out there or other platforms, they charge so much of an extravagant amount that a lot of people can't even afford it. So if you are someone who is looking to start as a fresher or even as a working professional, we have like the best course in the industry. You can ask almost anyone. So I hope this has answered your question. Any further question, guys? I think the questions are coming in repeat. Okay, I have 50% in PUC, but I have got knowledge in programming. What is PUC, first of all? Can you reframe your question? Sorry, guys. Can you put up this question again? What do you mean by PUC? Right. Are you asking about the college? Rekha, if you have any question, there is no need to raise a hand. What you can do is at the bottom of your Google Meet, you'll find a triangle icon, right, which is activities. Go to that. There is a Q&A. Put to that and ask a question there. So I'll take 1 or 2 more questions. Post that I have to complete the session because it's been extending more than 30 minutes. So just ask last few questions. Right? If you guys have any questions, just ask the last few questions. I'll take those. Post that. Harsh, you can put those questions from the Q&A. I have answered most of the questions. Sure. Okay, Mahalakshmi is asking, I'm a third-year student. Can I get placement after learn from this Pro Plus plan? Yes, so you are in third year. It will take roughly 5 months to learn, right? Post that, your placements can start because you'll be in the final semester, right? So it's completely all right for you to join this program. Okay, how much do I get? Harsh, I have answered your question. How much do I guarantee from this course? So Harsh has this question: after taking the course, how can we set our expectations are met? So you can let us know your expectation, right? The expectation is pretty simple. For the Pro Plus plan, we guarantee you a job, right? So what you have to do is you have to follow the process and build projects, do the learning, clear the final evaluation, sit for the placements, right? And then we'll get you placements, right? And if you are asking about any other expectation, just let me know in the Q&A. I don't know what kind of expectations you're asking, but yeah, I think getting the placements is the right expectation that anyone can have. Okay. I'm not getting any further question. Okay. Okay. No, no question. Yes, I think I've answered this question. How do we guarantee placements? Rutik has answered, when will the next batch start? Probably by the end of this month, the next batch will start, right? The latest batch that has started is on 6th of May, 4 or 5 days ago. So if you know the basics of programming, you can join that program. Harsh has a question. How did we connect it with 7,000 companies? So as you know, Cuvette is a hiring platform primarily, and we are education platform secondary, right? So for a lot of companies, we are the go-to platform when they have to hire freshers in tech, right? And that is how all these companies are connected with us, right? And that is a huge advantage that Cuvette has, right? When we help our students get them placed, right? So we are connected with all these companies because they have approached us for hiring. Now that we know these are some talented set of people who have cleared our final evaluation, we'll connect them with companies. So that is why we are very confident when it comes to placements. Okay, when you mean by 12th, 50% in 12th, it's completely all right. If you're asking about your 12th, it's completely all right. 50% does not make sense, right? As I was answering this question, you all you need is your skills, right? And that is what is required to get you a place. Rutik, I've answered this question. New batch starts probably by end of this month. Exact dates are not yet final. You can join the previous batch that had started on 6th of May, 4 or 5 days ago, right? If you know a little bit of basics of programming. Can you explain the second point? I didn't get the second point, which all companies have from Cuvette. I have already shown in one of my slides, there are more than 7,000 companies that hire through Cuvette, right? So I've already seen. We will also share the recordings most probably with all of you. You can watch it again. Um, placements will start. Yes, placements will start once the final evaluation is done, which is after 5 months. Right after 5 months, once you clear the final evaluation, we'll move you to the placement process, and your placements will start. After that, resume building and then mock interviews. Right. Okay, I've covered the same question. Okay. So I am taking this last question. So what if someone fails in all the three trials for the final evaluation? Will he get refund? No. So if someone fails in all the three attempts, then that person is not eligible for either the placement process or for the refund. Right. For the placements as well as for the refund, clearing the final evaluation test is mandatory. Right. And that is why we give three attempts. So if someone who is serious about their learning, right, they'll be able to clear it either first or second or third attempt. Right. That is the whole purpose of giving these three attempts, right? Even in the worst case, a student should be able to clear it if they're learning properly. Right. I think I've answered all the question. Okay, so no more question. I think it's the same question that someone is asking. So with this, I'm wrapping up this session. Right. I hope this would have been fruitful for a couple of people who have asked this question, plus a lot of people who did not ask, but their questions has already been answered. Right. And if you have any further questions, right, you can ask your admission counselor with whom you are connected with, right? And we are running this special discount, as I have already mentioned in the message that we sent. There is a 4,000 rupees discount that we are giving. You can talk to your admission counselor for the discount. So currently the Pro Plus plan is 32,000. So we are giving it for 28,000, and we are doing it till tomorrow, right? That is like 12th Sunday. So you can ask your admission counselor for the discounted link, and he'll be able to share it. If you're not in connect with him, you can put it at team@qt.tech, right? That I want to avail the discount and all. you'll be able to get it.